And the new. Hey.
Yeah, he has a big tradition to follow.
Yeah.
Johnny Tapia,
Yeah.
Bob Foster.
We did so many fights in this place.
Wow. Well, welcome to the city again.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Buck.
James Hunt for the untouchable True School Sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is my official final thoughts video. You know, these are my last closing thoughts, the last things I will say before Angelo and Venado Lopez square off here in New Mexico, here in the land of enchantment, here in Burque, as they call it, for the IBF title. It's a very important fight for the division. The division is looking for someone to really grab the bull by its proverbial horns. I do think this fight, I think the winner of this fight does sit in the queue in the featherweight division as Naya Inoue's potential first opponent when he does inevitably move up. But that's in the future. Let's talk about the now. So you got Venado Lopez. You guys know I'm an Angelo guy. That's my guy, you know. But let's talk about the Venado Lopez side of things, because Venado Lopez, this is his fourth defense of the title. I think he's now starting to get a little bit of attention from the public and the media. And I think he's probably maybe, you know, if you would have won this fight and another fight and another fight, you know, one or two more big wins, I think he's someone that the Mexican public would start to gravitate a little bit more towards, because if you look at Venado's popularity, it's not like the popularity of a guy like Isaac Cruz. He hasn't quite grabbed the Mexican audience the way a guy like Isaac Pitbull Cruz has, you know, in a higher weight class. So I think this fight is very important for him to continue to enhance his reputation as, they call him the Road Warrior, you know, the Road Warrior, even though I think that's a bit disrespectful. There's only one Road Warrior, and that's Glenn Johnson, you know, South Florida stand-up. But you know, he's made a living off of beating guys in their own hometown. And I really and truthfully think that this, out of all the assignments he's had, when it comes to beating guys in their hometown, this is the hardest one. This is not going to be like Joshua Warrington. This is not going to be like those other guys who've been fighting in their hometowns. I mean, Angelo is a more complete fighter. He's already been champion. He's already tasted success at the highest level. So it's a bit different. And on top of that, I think Venado Lopez, you know, at the weigh-in earlier today, I did see him, you know, he did look very sunken in. He, you know, the weight cut did look like it was affecting him. He was very quick to grab that Pedialyte. He was very quick to go get a banana as soon as he got off the scale. And I just know that it's affecting him. And so I think that'll play a role. I think the altitude here in New Mexico will play a role in the fight. I think that winds up being something that for him, you know, it may press him to go for the knockout a little earlier. He may shoot his load off a little earlier. So I think it's very important that if there is a massive discrepancy in punching power and physical strength between Venado Lopez and Angelo, that Venado exploited early. Because I'll tell you right now, I think that if this fight goes the way I think it's going to go, and I already said this in another interview when somebody interviewed me here in Mexico. Shout out to Southwest Fight News, you know, good guy. If Venado presses Angelo Leo, like, let's say he knows the weight cut's affecting him. Let's say, you know, he thinks that there is a power discrepancy. Well, even if there is no power discrepancy, if the weight cut is affecting him, it will force Venado Lopez to be a little bit more aggressive than he usually is early in the fight. And I do think that will set him up to get hit with something very, very big and flush. And when a guy is weight drained, the fluid around their brain ain't quite the same. Their punch resistance isn't quite the same either. And I think you may see not just a stoppage, but an early stoppage. Don't be surprised if we see one. But if that doesn't happen, you know, still, Angelo Leo is by far the most well-conditioned fighter Venado Lopez has ever fought. And on top of that, I just think he's got the skills, the experience, the know-how how to win. It's just a matter of putting it all together under the lights, which is hard, which is very, very difficult because, again, from the Angelo Leo side of things, he's fighting in his hometown. Even though he is the underdog on you know, in the odds, as far as the betting odds, there is pressure on him to perform. Bob Arum said it best when we saw him earlier today with Angelo. He said, you have a tradition to uphold. You have a tradition to live up to. You got a standard to maintain for Burqueño boxing, Albuquerque boxing. We're talking guys like Johnny Tapia, Danny Romero, Bob Foster, Harley Holm, and the list goes on and on and on, right? And this is his chance, really. Like, yes, he's been champion. It was cool when he beat Tremaine Williams. That was in the bubble. Nobody was there. But this is really like his moment. Like, if he's going to really become what all these years on True School Sports, if he's going to become what I think he's always been, which is a top flight, upper echelon, creme de la creme, fighter, not just one of the best featherweights in the world, but one of the best fighters in the world. If he's going to become that, he's got to win this fight. And honestly, just to be honest, it's not even, I know people are going to say it's like you got to win by any means necessary. But for me, personally, it's not even enough to just win. He got to look good doing it. He got to be spectacular in doing so. And I think he's got the skills to do it. So, respect to both men. This is a voluntary from Venado Lopez. He could have picked a much easier opponent than Angelo Leo. He's not doing that. So he does deserve respect for that. Just to even defend your belt once is an accomplishment in boxing. He's defended it 3 times, going for a 4th against a very tough former world champion. It's actually, and I think this gets overlooked, this is the first time Venado Lopez has ever fought. Actually, that's not true. He fought Josh Warrington. But apart from Josh Warrington, since Josh Warrington, I should say, this is the first former world champion he's ever fought. That right there in itself separates Angelo from the guys he's been beating. So it should be a good fight. If you want a prediction, I made this prediction on another channel. I'll make it right here. I think the fight is not going to go as long as a lot of you guys think. I think Venado Lopez is going to get really, really careless. I think the weight cut is going to affect him. I think the altitude will affect him. Everything that wasn't done quite right in camp is going to come back to haunt him in this fight in a bad and major way. And the better fighter will win. And that better fighter is Angelo Leo. And I think the fight ends in a 5th round stoppage, something like that, something like that. I won't pick the punch. Y'all can tune in to August 10th and see what Angelo goes ahead and does. But listen, if he comes out and wins, then credit to him, because he will have beaten a very good fighter to do so. I'll tell you that right now. I've been in camp with Angelo. I know every last little T that's been dotted and I that's been crossed. I can tell you guys, you're gonna get whatever you thought you knew about Angelo going into this fight. This fight right here is gonna make you reassess everything you thought you knew. Say it like that. And it'll be a 2-time champion. And may the best man win. You guys already know I'm picking Angelo, but I'm telling you how it's gonna go. So give me your predictions. I'll be here regardless of how it all plays out. Let me know what you think. How do you guys see it going? How do you guys see it playing out? I'll add this little caveat. I'll add this one last little caveat, and then I'll end the video. No matter what the outcome is for the Venado Lopez, whether he wins the fight or loses the fight, I don't think he's got much longer left at featherweight. I think this weight cut was really bad for him, and I do think that probably in the next fight or 2, he goes to 130 and he fights Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez is here in New Mexico. He's doing commentary for Top Rank. I actually had the honor and the privilege to talk to Oscar Valdez last night for probably about a good 10 minutes, good conversation. And he sounds like he thinks that's going to happen too in the future. And remember, back in March when I was at Oscar Valdez's fight for Liam Wilson, Venado was ringside for that fight as well. So that's a fight that Top Rank has in the back pocket no matter how this fight plays out. But I do think it will play out, whether it's a knockout or a decision. I think it plays out with Angelo Leo once again and the new IBF World Champion, featherweight division. Look out, he's here. And then after that, if it happens, if it goes how I think it's going to go with the win, we can talk about other things. But we've had a great time covering this fight. Anybody who's going to be in Albuquerque, if you see me,
it's been a real special one.
It's been a real special one for us. This whole camp, I'll say it like this, man. I'm not trying to make this too long-winded, but I don't think I've ever been a part of anything in boxing on all my 9 years covering it as significant as this training camp for Angelo Leo. I feel honored to be a part of it. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world, and definitely one of the best fighters in the division. And I think he's gonna prove it in this fight. And I want to say this, guys. When he does it, I'm not gonna say if, because I believe he's gonna win. When he does, don't demean Venado. I don't want to hear that Venado wasn't this and wasn't that, had 2 losses. A lot of you guys propped him up to be the best featherweight in the division. So if Angelo beats him, which I think he will, please give him his just due and be a little more respectful when you talk about him.
And remind you, when he does it, he'll be you can fact check this. The only fighter to win a world title in his hometown and his opponent's hometown.
Correct. If Angelo Leo wins this fight, he'll become the first fighter in boxing history to win a world title in his hometown, which is Albuquerque, and his opponent's hometown, which was Tremaine Williams when he beat him out there in Connecticut back in 2020. So a lot of things on the line for Venado. Big potential unification fights are on the line against Espinoza, potentially against Inoue if he comes up. And like I said, you know, if you see me at the fight tomorrow, feel free to say hi. I love talking to the boxing fans. If you're passionate about boxing, like I'm passionate about boxing, then you're a friend of old BT and True School Sports, and you're part of the empire, whether you like it or not. But on that note, guys, I'm going to get some rest. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the content. There's going to be one more interview dropping tomorrow with one of Angelo's sparring partners. Shout out to Jason Noble. And yeah, tune in, subscribe, run it up. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterbury, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.